Come on down to Implo's, America's #1 air conditioning store, where you can save on top models from Andrew Cuomo, Matt Gaetz, and more. Now running our Easter weekend special with prices so low you can't say no to a good blow. Come on down to Implo's, America's #1 air conditioning store. Live from P&D Studios, it's This Week Live with Rocky Red Panda. This week's the good, the bad, and the Easter fun facts. And special guest Craig Bumbaugh. Here's your host, Rocky Red Panda. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to This Week Live. I am your host, Rocky Red Panda. Yes, this video is coming to you on a Monday. Why on a Monday? It's always on a Sunday. Well, because it was a holiday weekend and some people had normal jobs. But enough said. But let's wish everyone out there a happy Easter weekend. That's right. Yes, the one weekend a year where Jesus comes out of hiding to see if he sees his shadow. I mean, how do we go from resurrection Easter bunny to Easter eggs and chocolate-shaped holy items like crosses and Jesus? Okay, kids, go find the chocolate Jesus. I mean, when you really think about it, the Easter Bunny is an anarchist. He forces children to frantically search for gifts to feed their sugar addiction. But keep in mind that chocolate Easter eggs found during the hunt have no calories if eaten on Easter Sunday. Oh, you wish. You wish. I mean... But for the second year in a row, there will be no White House Easter egg roll. But to talk about this and other news, let's jump right into this week's The Good, The Bad, and the That's where we poke fun at some of this week's news, and yes, all politics are still on the table. What? Oh, okay. Hold on a minute, folks. I think we have a little gift from a friend here that's visiting us. Right? Oh, hi there, Mr. Easter Bunny. You got a card for me? Oh, you can just leave it right there. Thank you. Alright, so you got a card, or I got a card here from the Easter Bunny. Let's see what it says. No business this week. Off on holiday. Enjoy with family and friends. You heard the card. We're going to enjoy. I mean, enjoy your Easter with the family. Unless you're decided to watch my show, then enjoy it with the family, even though it is now Easter Monday. But still, enjoy regardless. So for the second straight year in a row, the White House Easter egg hunt will be virtual. That's right. What better way to celebrate the Easter egg hunt than having a bunny in a mask? I mean, isn't the head already a mask? But okay then. The Easter egg virtual hunt will be a White House 360 tour where you can learn about the history of the Easter egg roll, the White House, and the people who live there. They also stated that you can complete a worksheet with correct answers to submit it for a chance to win a raffle prize. A set of commemorative official 2021 White House Easter eggs. That's right, wooden eggs made in Maine. I mean, there would be a joke inserted here, but heck, it's just wooden eggs, so yoke's on you. So speaking of Easter, what's everyone's favorite kind of candy? Did you say Peeps? Peeps, you said? Well, Pepsi has a new Peeps flavored soda. That's right. You can now have the taste of Peeps and Pepsi all in one joyful can. I want to know who comes up with these kind of things. I want their job. I don't know how it will taste because it's only available through a contest on Twitter and Instagram. Sorry, grandmas and grandpas. I guess that means you're out. This is just so depressing. But in his yearly Easter message, Pope Francis urges broad access to vaccines and an end to conflicts. That's right. So for a second year in a row, Pope Francis delivered an Easter blessing and speech in a scaled-back ceremony on Sunday. He states, everyone requires access and has the right to have access to necessary care. This is even more evident in these times where all of us are called to combat the pandemic, and vaccines are an essential tool in this fight. You hear that? I'm not getting the vaccine, people. The Pope says it's okay to get it. He later talked about conflicts in saying, may all parties involved commit themselves effectively to ending conflicts and allowing war-weary people's lives to live in peace. I couldn't agree more. Thank you, Papa Francis, for those kind words on a blessed Easter weekend. But if you missed the news this past week, listen to this. At the U.S. Capitol, man with car rams security barrier, injuring one police officer and killing another. The driver literally crashed his car into a security barrier before lunging towards the officers with a knife. The suspect would later die. Now, remember this comment from GOP Mike Turner of Ohio?
But I can tell you what my personal opinion and my belief is. This is absolutely unnecessary. And the American public know it. When in 9/11, when the Capitol itself was a target, we didn't go to a wall and razor wire around the Capitol.
Well, I'd like to think twice about that after what happened this weekend. The walls are put up to protect not only you, but everyone who works in the Capitol from another January 6th style attack. Now, the officer who died was William Billy Evans. He has been a member of the Capitol Police for 18 years and was part of the department's first responders unit. So let's take a moment of silence to remember Officer Evans and keep his family in your thoughts and prayers. With so many attacks on the police officers at the Capitol, Capitol Police Union warns of potential exodus after this latest attack, urges security increases. Papa Athanasius said after the latest attack on Friday, we now have lost 2 officers in the line of duty this year. Another officer has taken his own life, and we have 80 officers who were seriously injured in the insurrection. Some of those injured officers may never return to duty. Yet, back in March, we had 12 Republicans who voted against ordering Capitol Police for protecting Congress because they used the term insurrection. P&D Studios in This Week Live thanks all of the Capital City police officers who are serving for doing their job and those who have passed. We honor those who helped and are helping protect Congress. Thank you, guys. There is much more I could talk about that's newsworthy, but this week. But in the light of it being Easter weekend, I figured let's break it up and let's talk about some Easter fun facts to end this segment and to show you some of the stuff that I got in my Easter basket. So I have scoured the internet to find some of these Easter fun facts and wrote them down on this little piece of paper here because we are old school folks. So I picked some of these 6 which I call Easter fun facts that I found quite interesting. So let's go ahead and read some of these off here. Number 1, here's one. Easter Bunny legend began in Germany. I did not know that. Hair said to be the symbol of pagan goddess of spring and fertility. It makes sense. Most holidays begin as a pagan holiday. How about this one? More than 1.5 million Cadbury cream eggs are produced every day. Just imagine how many Cadbury cream eggs would be going into my tummy or your tummy. Here's one. The world's largest Easter egg weighs in at 5,000 pounds. I hate to be the Easter bunny and carrying that. Their back would be like, I don't even want to think about that. Or here's one. Good Friday is only honored in 12 out of 50 states. So in 12 out of 50 states, Good Friday is considered a federal holiday, which means you have off for the Friday before Easter. That's cool. Here's another one, number 5. Americans will consume more than 16 million jelly beans. I mean, I'm not a fan of jelly beans, but those Harry Potter jelly beans just don't get the fart or the dirt. Ugh, no. And here's another one, the last one. Americans eat more than 600 million peeps during Easter. You sadomasochists. I swear. Sadomasochists eating those peeps. I never liked peeps. I never liked the flavor. But, so, I hope you guys had a fantastic Easter. I know I did. So I'm going to be sharing you some of the stuff that I did get for Easter. Like this shirt I'm wearing. You probably saw me wearing it. I prefer my puns intended. Of course, I love my puns intended. This is going to be my new favorite shirt. But, you know, I also got this one. Sailor Moon. I love Sailor Moon. That's Serena. To show you some things I got here. Of course, who doesn't like Duluth Trading? I love Duluth Trading. So we got some Duluth Trading here. More Duluth Trading. This is called Armachillo. It's undershirt, short sleeve. It's supposed to keep you chill. And it's also Duluth Trading. I thought that was pretty cool. And let's see. This. This is a thing called Harry's. It's a new blade system, which I'm actually looking forward to trying out. Anything else that's worthy of showing? Well, you do have the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Reese's Pieces eggs. And, of course, an Etch-a-Sketch. So, you know, there's a few things in there. I'm actually going to go ahead and bite into this little Reese's Peanut Butter egg. Just because I can. But this has been this week's The Good, The Bad, and The Huh. Boy, that was hard to bite into. Boy, but that is good. So we'll be right back after these commercial breaks with Mr. Craig Bumbaugh. So stay tuned. Hey there folks, this is Rocky Red Panda, your host of This Week Live, P&D Studios, and illustrator at Panda Numeric Designs. Are you looking to get official This Week Live, P&D Studio, and Panda Numeric Design merchandise? That's right. Go to my website at pandandesigns.com, click on the shop, which will take you to some sweet, sweet stuff via my online Etsy store. And welcome back, folks. So this week we do have a local that's down there, a friend of mine for a while. His name is Craig Bumbaugh, and he runs this obnoxious auctions online. He does some weird things. Now, what makes them different is his auctions are not like your typical auction that you go to. It's like $5, $5, $6, $5, and sold for $5. No, it's not. But so welcome to the show, Craig.
Well, thanks for having me. I definitely enjoy getting to tell people a little bit about this different kind of business, whatever that it is. It's not your normal one, I guess you would say.
Yeah, exactly. So go ahead and introduce yourself and tell them about what you do.
Okay. I am Craig Bumbaugh. I am Craig Bumbaugh Auctioneering, but our website is obnoxiousauctions.com. I'm a licensed auctioneer in Pennsylvania, so I went to college, believe it or not, to do because you can do it either through college or you can go as an apprentice in 2 years under somebody else. So going to college in Harrisburg back in I guess 2018, you learn a little bit some of the I guess not political side, but the law firm kind of side and a couple of different things or whatever. And the reason Pennsylvania has an auctioneer license, unlike a lot of other states, is for consumer. It's very consumer driven, so they have a lot of guidelines, whatever. But it's very neat. Really good at running my mouth, so I actually am already doing the entire the chants and stuff. But with everything that's been going on, obviously COVID related, the demand for online auctioning has actually increased a lot. So, uh, and the things I've always liked was something easy to be shipped to begin with. So it's video games, trading cards, sports cards, all that. So I was like, well, if it's going to be, this is what we're going to do for the time being. It's what it is, and it actually has taken off very well, which I'm sure everyone is aware currently how insane the card, especially Pokemon, how insane everything is right now. So
Mm-hmm.
that's where we're at here. But other than that, I did do the start of this full time in January, and everything's been going good. Figured if I'm going to work hard, I'd like to make it for myself, and see where we get to.
Definitely, yeah, because I pass your place all the time, and I was like, oh, that's where Domino's Pizza used to be back in the day. You're in
Yeah.
the back there, so I pass it all the time, and I'm just like, wow. So you actually went to school for this? So I'm guessing it was the Harris. It was Hack of
Yes,
Harrisburg.
that's yep, Harrisburg up there on Cambridge Street.
Nice. Yep, yep. I'm quite familiar with that. I went to Hack in Gettysburg, so they didn't have options.
Okay, yeah. As I say, they do. They do have a couple different campuses or whatever.
Correct. Yeah. So I'm quite familiar with Hack. So that's pretty awesome. So did you always want to be an auctioneer, or did you have
Uh,
something you wanted to be before this?
I started out early in life as like I've always worked kind of at the flea market, and I've always been like sales driven. I mean, I just kind of like working with people stuff. But I actually was a diesel mechanic for 10 years because I
Huh.
went to school for that, and because I'd already known sales still in my 17, 18-year-old mind, I was like, why would I go for sales when I've already feel that I've been doing good at that? And then it's like, maybe I should have started out with that. So, but I mean, it does carry over as a trait. So I'd worked there as a mechanic or whatever. And then I'd actually worked for the Commonwealth for a little bit or whatever. But I was like, I've always had a passion for sales and still do the flea markets and that kind of stuff. And it's like, as times change, it's like there's a lot of other game stores that have been in the last 10 years after I opened my game store. So as a business person, it's like, okay, if I go into something else, what's going to make it a little bit harder for technically competition? And that's anytime you get something that's requiring a license, it does eliminate people that either can't put the time in to get it or that are I guess they just don't want to put the time into it. So it eliminates a little bit of competition, I guess if you would say there. But it was something I like to do. So I mean, I do the live sale, so I'm fairly all right at it. But so I was like, well, this is definitely something unique, so we'll give this a try.
I mean, you are quite different in the ways. I think locally, there used to be Emmitsburg Auction House, and they just recently they closed a while back. I used to go there a lot to buy records, and of course, then you have Yingling's Auction Service. People know the Yingling family; they're well known in Adams County. But the way yours is done is you're unique because you specifically what I call term of pulp culture. You know, video games, comics, and all of this geeky nerdiness. And while all these other auctions, like, oh, this is an 18th century armoire that someone's selling out of their estate, and oh, some guns, some Civil War, some weapons, and odds and ends.
Yeah, no, it's definitely different, and we've done a little bit of everything, but because we've known this stuff so well, we definitely have I guess the customer base, and we're
Yeah.
very good at detailing what we have. So that's 90% of what we sell. Now, granted, today it did go up, and a client had bought a place with some old gardening stuff, and it was a couple greenhouses, an old business. So you might see that up on the lot because they want to move some stuff through. So it'll go push just as much. But yes, I mean every month we're doing comics, video games, cards, sports cards, even as well. I mean, I never thought I'd be selling sports cards, but hey, if that's where it's at and we know what it is, it's
I
definitely
mean,
it's fun now. It's fun.
between you and Shane, Shane's like, I got sports cards. I don't know how much this is worth. Anyone like sports cards? Can you want to buy them for me? Take them off me. I'm like, I'm like, mine are in the safety deposit box. I haven't touched them since the '90s, and I think it's like I have like a, what was it? I have a bunch of them. It's like a Ken Griffin that's probably gone up in some, yeah, some Cal Ripkins. I'm like, you know what? That's good for later on, that's a good investment. I'm just like, oh, eh.
Well, yeah, no, and then if it's in a lockbox, I mean, condition is everything. That's what's
Correct.
really there. And if it's in there, it's not getting sunlight damage or UV
Yep.
damage, and you ain't losing nothing by letting them sit.
Exactly. All right, so we're going to take a short break, and then we'll return here back with Craig Bumbaugh and obnoxiousauctions.com. Just keep going. You are watching This Week Live with Rocky Red Panda, only on PNG Studios. Make sure to like and subscribe. All right, and welcome back, you guys. We're here with Mr. Craig Bumbaugh from obnoxiousauctions.com. So you sell just about a variety of unique things online. I mean, what's one of the most unique items that you've ever sold?
It's kind of cool. People bring in like say a few weeks ago, somebody that said, "Oh, I've got some PlayStation 1 games to check out or whatever." So generally that's all run on those stuff. But then they bring in like the RPG Tales of Destiny 2, which is one of your rarest pieces, and it was just cool how the backstory was and everything. And they're like, "So this is what's worth it?" I was like, "Yeah, your RPGs kind of hold value." That's completely opposite for your Final Fantasy franchise. A lot of that had went down over the years because of the DLCs and a cheaper like that. So I mean that's unique there. But then one on our first auctions, we sold some like this Thomas Kincaid, some pictures or whatever. I guess he's an artist or whatever. And
Yeah.
even the person brought it in said it wasn't none of the elite stuff, but they went for more decent money, and it was kind of different. And then somebody did bring a PlayStation 5 when they first come out. They're like, "Can you sell this?" And I'm like, "Yep, we'll put it in the auction." They're like, "It's not us. It doesn't matter to me." So that was cool. But the variety of like different video games. We just sold a Nolan Ryan rookie card
I saw
uh,
that.
in this past sale. Kobe Bryant rookie card. So we definitely had some good ones there, and some homes and all that kind of stuff. People that's definitely up and coming, and as we do these sales, it's like, man, I wonder what this is going to be the next year and the next year. And it's like, it's always a speculation of what it could be. But we did very well too. We purchased out a buyout, and we had a pretty massive amount of Famicom and Japanese video games, and
Ooh,
that stuff definitely went up pretty good because the shipping right now is so high to come from over
yeah.
Japan. But we had
My
a
God.
a Sharp Duo, Twin FC Duo, so played the
Mhm.
Nintendo disc and games and all that. So that was definitely unique, and it actually went extremely well, which is good. I mean, that was our goal, but it was definitely something I like to. I was like, I don't know, this is kind of different because at that point you're really targeting a niche market because
Yeah.
everybody plays video games, but not everybody plays Japanese video games here in the United States, depending on what they can to play it on.
Or yet knows what Famicom is, or Super Famicom, I should say.
Yeah, yeah,
so
most
what?
of it.
So what's that one holy grail that you are maybe one day hoping someone would bring into your shop and you would get to sell?
Oh, I'd like to see that the items that's like, especially when it comes to game wise, more like I'd hope that somebody might have collected something to have like a prototype. I mean, over the years I've sold off my own collection, so I don't have any of this rare stuff. But like, I do like when people bring in the weird game, like a Resident Evil for the Game Boy Color, stuff that they think's
Yep.
dollar games. Even if it's 30, it's kind of cool. But it's different with a sports card. We did have somebody bring in a Tom Brady rookie, which we actually lucked in before PSA cut us off this week. We got it in to get graded, so and that's going to go back into sale.
Wow.
So I mean, that's generally something a little bit sought after. But I mean, I just like to see what people have, and I mean, especially the client that brought up like a lot of the Pokemon cards they had.
Yep.
Then they started bringing games up, and this is stuff that had legitimately been not touched or whatever, because you have all your vendors and
Mm-hmm.
or buyers that do that kind of stuff where they pick up stuff to resell. But when you get something out of a house, you do not know what's coming through. Which I'm sure over the years you've been to yard sales or something, and it's like, oh, these people put out some good stuff today. I guess they never touched before.
I've sold at flea markets, so I know all about it. You're trying to set up about 6 or 7 in the morning, and you got the people with the flashlights saying, "What do you have here? Is this for sale? How much is this?" I was like, "I'm not set up yet. Just give me a moment. You can go
Yeah,
through my records in a few moments." Which I'll admit, Shane did take a good portion of what I had left because I don't sell flea markets anymore. So it's like
that makes it easy though. Then you don't have to go set up or whatever. It's like, oh, okay.
yeah. But if I want to get back into it, I can easily I can easily find someone. I know a guy, and I can just easily buy more from him. So it's an addiction at the same time. Just like with, yeah, I guess with you and auctioning, it's an addiction that you have to feed. But you get tired, and then he's like, I really want to do it again.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's something that's like, well, I can get out of this, and then it's like not too long. It's like, well, I guess this is a good deal, so I'm going to pick this up, and I can sell this for that. And then next thing you
Right.
know, you have a collection back, and then you got a full flea market stand. But it's a fun addiction now.
Yeah, it is. Besides video games and pop culture, what else have you sold? So you did mention garden stuff, which
Yeah.
is
So
quite weird out of the ordinary.
yeah, somebody did call us here last week or whatever, and they had purchased a place, and it's like there was 5 greenhouses with it, and I'm like, okay. I mean, a marketing specialist is actually what your auctioneer has to be. So if you don't know about it, you better find somebody that does or figure it
Hmm.
out. So, but it's a lot of it's just access that was left there or whatever, and they want to more or less tidy it up. But there's some nice pieces. So we'll take a picture, get some numbers or whatever, and then
Beautiful.
whenever I do the marketing through Facebook or whatever, I kind of can target the audience depending
Yeah.
on what I want to go through. So we'll figure out the horticulture. I'll call up some local places that do the flowers and everything. Hey, this stuff's going here. You might just want to check it out in case you could use it for your own stock or even in general. So we've had that. And once in a while, like we'll probably do trains here. Generally, if somebody has a collection of something and we can put a fair amount of items of that in, it definitely draws more people because most of it
Right.
does ship. I'd say 85% of what we sell does get shipped somewhere. So they like to buy multiple items. So that way, technically, their shipping per item goes down or whatever.
Yeah.
But we've had everything from some figurines to pictures to bowls and all that kind of stuff or whatever. So kind of a little bit of everything, but we cycled out a majority of that for now, just to definitely focus on this card market that is
Yeah.
insane. That just because it's like, well, if it's there and we can give people decent money for it, we'll do that. But then once everything changes, and I mean, if we're looking right now to see if we can deal with like Funko Pop or whatever, because you have to read about a lot of the Funkos do well, and that's still pop culture, but it's something that we've only mixed some in the comic sale. We haven't did a 100% dedicated
Yeah.
Funko sale yet, so we're looking into that or whatever, and just kind of anything that catches the eyes. But like I'm trying not to overdo it. Somebody actually called you last week, said about could you do some storage units? And I'm like, well, technically I could, but at the moment I don't want to take in anything more than what I can handle at the moment just to be safer.
Correct.
But it is definitely a unique and high demand business. It's definitely different, especially with being online. I mean, majority of the auction houses are online, but there's still a fair amount that are in person.
Hmm.
But there's definitely a difference as far as like where the time consumption's at. You can run a lot with online. You can run a lot less of employees and workers, but it
Correct.
does take a lot longer to catalog and upload that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Where the live sales there and done that day, but then you have to have somebody better than me writing down on the ticket so you can actually read what you bought, and
Yep.
and but it's just still different.
I agree with you on that. So with all of this COVID-19 you did online, I mean, do you ever see yourself selling in person? Like if someone says, I have this huge estate, then I need someone to go over it to, like I know with Yinglings, they go to people's houses, they set up there, and you sell all the stuff for them in person. Then when they're done, they sell the house and their car.
Yeah. No, if once everything kind of clears up, because I actually work with my cousin, he does live sales or whatever. And
Okay.
before I got here, we just been insane busy. But uh, once it gets there, I figured even if I would have to rent like the local fire hall or something, or if it would come to something of that sort, or somebody
Yeah.
wants a on-site auction, uh, definitely can do that or whatever. It does take a little bit more staff, but I have a wonderful family that would get volunteered whether they wanted it or not. Do that, but it does seem though, and I mean, I've always been old school. I like the in person, but the for the consumer, that you definitely the online can definitely draw a higher amount per item
Correct.
just because you're reaching 100,000 people versus 100.
Yep.
But then when it comes to say local items, then a lot of times that in person sale, um, if we're around Waynesboro, most times people from Waynesboro is going to pay more than what somebody online would
Yep.
because it's going to be something more to them. So there definitely is advantages each way or whatever. But I'm open here. Things got to get straightened out going into the spring or summer. I'd like to do a live sale because it's something I haven't done completely on my own yet or whatever, and it can be a nightmare once I get there. But
Nice, nice. So, and lastly, I mean, where do you see your business, say, in 10 years from now?
So we still luckily keep up with current pop culture stuff, and I'm hoping that and I don't think it's really going to. I don't think this era of stuff's kind of going to go away because I look at the items we're selling now will only technically become the antiques that you see people, that's currently like our parents' age and stuff like what they collect. And as that goes through, now I don't know if the antique market will kind of dim down some, whatever, because realistically, it's all based on nostalgia that they
Yeah,
remember from was when they were kids. So I think it's going to do nothing honestly but just grow. And as long as we stay around this, generally get known for the cards, the comics, the games, and
hmm,
we can maintain a good rapport with that, I believe it'll probably grow because I would like to be, someday when everything's up through and they say, okay, well, we got a game collection, where do you go? And just say, oh, go down to Craig's. They can do it. And that's the goal is to definitely just be referred to. Hey, if you wanted to buy from this auction, because like
yep,
look at Heritage and all those guys. They started out and they just got known for something. And
correct.
now it's like, oh my god, they definitely did it right. But
Yeah,
so I believe we'll definitely be expanding. And I mean, right now we currently rent a place where people come in and pick up whatever. But I just looked at a property today or whatever for potential future. Because I might even try to find something that's going a little bit bigger to house it if we start getting like a bigger items like furniture and that kind of stuff or whatever. So
sweet.
I imagine we'll be. I'm hoping that we'll be set real well. I mean, all depends, but being that we kind of hit the online markets are auction right now are doing well. I mean, it's not a good thing with COVID's not a good thing, but what that has done is raise the demand for places people that can't get out to spend
Yeah,
more online. So we've seen 50% sale increase on a lot of items, whatever. So we got to speculate for that as well. But I believe in years to come we'll be definitely good. So that means we'll keep you stocked up with things you need, especially when it comes to records. I'll hit you up first.
yeah, definitely because yeah, I have records out of Wazoo. Let me put it this way, I went to box lots and and now I end up with it's like crate after crate of these godly obnoxious DJ records from the '80s and their hip hop R&B. I don't even know half the things. I looked at it, it's like, oh, okay, I know the Fat Boys. I know the Fat Boys. Okay, that's good. I at least know something. Oh, there's LL Cool J. I know that. What the hell is this? Okay, what the hell is? All right, all right, you got me there.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely can get confusing. And no, actually, I was somewhere the other day and I seen a bunch of cassette tapes. And it's like Dead Milkman and some other ones. Then I got into ones I had no clue, and I'm like, I wouldn't even begin to know what this even would sound like.
Yeah, it's like I brought some into Shane. It's like one was like something with Sexorama, and it had like a guy on the front cover, and he had a branding iron, and he was branding a female, leaned over like a cow. I was like, I got that just because the cover. It was in the odd case. I was like, I like this. I just got this in. This is so odd. I was like, yeah, and it was in the same case of the miracles of God and football. How they make a touchdown pass to glory, and that was actually done from a football player from the '60s or '70s, and it was basically how they play football, but in the line of being God and Christian. It was like, seriously? I mean, it was just so weird. I just had to have it. It was like $1. It's like, I need this, but yet I don't. I'm not going to listen to it. It's just very unique, just as a conversational piece. What's that? Oh, it's how to play football, but in the eyes of God.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And anybody that sees it's going to have to ask that question because I don't think I've even ever heard of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. I mean, it's been awesome. So, is there anything coming up that people should look forward to seeing on
uh, we're
upnotchoptions.com?
we're currently working on because actually right now I don't even have a sale up, but we'll start posting pictures coming soon. Uh, we have a lot of we did a buyout because we can buy out things as well on our own. So we did do a buyout, but there's a lot of game stuff that we're just testing because we like to try and make sure everything's tested and work before it goes. So the 14th of March we'll actually start back up with another game auction, and then the 21st will be sports cards and most times once we get the picture started up, whatever, anytime you go to noxdoctor.com, that's our main site, and then just click the link and the subdomains over to what we have listed or whatever, or coming soon, so you can kind of see. Um, And then so once we get all these things tested, which is like a mass load or whatever, we'll have them up, and then we'll try and going into May. We always take our 1 week vacation to go down to the cruising show in Ocean City if everything's decent. So we'll have some things spotted up, but we'll finally get our calendar, I guess you would say, filled up for the rest of the month. So right now it's like a week liaison off, but so pretty much here about next week. Check out if anybody's watching, want to see what's coming up, and if you ever have any questions in general. Craig Bumbaugh Auctioneering on Facebook, even though Noxious Auctions is the website. Eventually, that's what we're going to go to is Noxious Auctions in general. But I'm in the process of all the LLCs and trading everything over. So
Beautiful. Yep, you heard it from this man. So definitely check out obnoxiousauctions.com. Craig Bumbaugh Auctioneering on Facebook. This guy is awesome. Awesome stuff. You're into pulp culture, you're into everything. You don't know what you're going to find. You're just going to have to kind of check and go through page by page, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just look at each one, because you might find something that will pique your fancy, saying, I have to have that. And if that's your thing, Obnoxious Auctions. So thank you, Craig, for being on the show. It's been
hey, I appreciate it greatly, George.
Yep, it's always good to have some local auctioneering. But for now, this is your host, Rocky Red Panda. I am signing out for this week. And thank you to all the fans. Thank you to Craig. And of course, we will see you next week. So, guys, have a good week. Until then, peace out.